here that's not super mobile. So I think the IO pairing, not just good for the sustain, but also great to kind of give Leshrac that extra bit of mobility.
All right, well, let us see if they're going to be able to get that Lesh to the scary stage here for Team Spirit. Of course, we are done with Group A for day one. Over to Group B, we go, and two teams that are expected to have a very good showing here in Berlin. So, got to kick yourselves off with a good start. Of course, a new patch, so anything can happen. And one thing I've always enjoyed now with the recent games, I'm just seeing, like, where are people running to? Because for me, I'm learning, and everyone's learning right now. And before, like, we had still the 5-man smokes out of base, and we've still got that. And now I'm just looking for, like, where are these crazy new ward places we're starting with?
Yeah, so, like, 5-man smoke out, but everyone was going different directions to try and, you know, get some Watcher vision. Like, you know, there was the Magnus going deep into the top jungle to try and get a Watcher down. We're seeing a lot of early wards played around the TP, the Twin Gates. So there's a lot of, different unusual things that have kind of had to change. Because, you know, you don't want to, these side lane ganks with the Twin Gates are just brutal. You almost have to have vision of it, it seems. But then obviously that's easily countered. You just bring a Sentry lane and free D-Ward. That's free money.
Sucks. No way. Were you watching the cuddle? He leveled Blinding Light and then pushed your Tora up on the high ground and just stole the bounty.
Nice. Easy. I mean, that's fine. Blinding Light level 1 is 100 damage. You're happy to have that in lane. 40% miss too.
Yeah. Actually, I wonder if you start going for this level 1, because you're going to have probably more potential to trade better, like you said, with that 40% evasion. So I wonder.
I think in these, these early level 1 trades, it's probably better. It's also, just range creep securing is always such a big part of these lanes. So, Blinding Light level 1 makes sense to me.
And talk to me about the support setup that we have from Team Spirit. It is Miposhka playing the Rubik, and then we've got Mira on the IO. But what do you feel like is the big reasoning with the IO playing with the Night Stalker and the Rubik playing with the Mag?
I think it just gives them slightly better lanes to me. I think as good as the IO Magnus lane can be in terms of sustain, I think the playmaking of a Rubik Magnus is just like incredible. You've got the lift with the skewers. There's so much like potential kills, and I think Night Stalker it's not a kill lane. So you kind of just want to give Night Stalker this laning partner that just provides sustain early on and just fights over CS, because that's all Night Stalker wants to do during the daytime early on.
Yeah, and we see Tori's got the Radiance Ag Shard queued up, so still going to be going down that kind of Radiance build that we saw towards the tail end of the last patch.
Yep, I think it makes sense at least. So, it's a little greedy. It takes a while to come online, and we talk about Spirit and what their draft needs to do as far as being on a timer. So maybe some question marks there about whether you can get away with a full Radiance, but you need to have some scaling here.
Sucks. Well, speaking of the Coddle being able to trade, a lot of damage dealt to Mira pretty early on with Sarks out to the left side, so it helps them secure a great positioning with the creep wave bottom. But let's speak about mid for a little bit. You said before that you believe the Lesh is slightly favored as actually top lane. Miposhka in some trouble with that first use of the Metamorphosis. Going to attempt to deny, but just not there in time. And simultaneously, we've also got another kill on the secondary support, Tundra, off to a great start in their side lanes.
Yep. It's the Chakra Coddle just spamming it out, letting the Beastmaster keep spamming his axes with these early magic ones too. Both Coddle and Beastmaster with 5-1 charges early on. I mean, Night Stalker has his, but the lane spam is just a little too much, particularly for the supports to kind of handle here.
Does look like though to start mid lane. Going quite well for Lyle at the moment. 16-2 compared to the 12-1 in top lane. Collapse. Alright, there we go. Actually 2 points in skewer for Collapse in this lane. Okay.
Interesting. Okay. I guess the damage doubles, like in terms of efficiency, in terms of that second point, doubling the damage is very good. I'd be surprised to see that. We'll see. They're fighting over the Lotuses now. Let's go the way of Magnus.
And we see Collapse has got the Vanguard queued up as well. So it does look like he's more than likely going to go the Crimson. But regardless, the Vanguard just allows him probably to solo this lane.
Yeah.
Which then can help Miposhka to be able to rotate, to stack for Lyle, and even secure runes as well.
Very much. Vanguard just seems to be like one of the popular items right now. It can be disassembled into so many different things. And just like you say, it gives you this really stable laning stage where once your offlaner gets it, you can kind of just play the lane almost by yourself, it feels like.
And top lane, they're going to make another go here with this Huron collapse.
Nope.
They don't have meta, so a lot of the damage is going to be there for Tundra to be able to fight back, and that should mean Spirit, snaking with the raindrops. Alright, they're still able to get him though nonetheless. So Spirit, another kill onto Snaking's Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, this lane's starting to become a problem. There's just too much kill threat and damage coming out from the Rubik Magnus. Particularly when meta's down, you can't really, return fire. And now that the Ring of Health is there, plus you've got a Healing Lotus, the sustain means that, yeah, Spirit got very low to get that kill, but they can still stick around. It's only the Rubik who's maybe a little low. But as far as the Magnus goes, he'll be full health in no time with this Vanguard.
Let's see. I actually wonder if he's immune to this second meta. I don't know if it's going to be enough, even with the Vanguard on collapse.
Yeah, it depends, if Rubik's out of the lane for a little bit, so definitely a small period of time where he could be vulnerable, but taking a peek back at mid lane, it's gone pretty even, slightly less favored in terms of CS. Laurel, I mentioned, he's just not going to get much help. Like, it's a lot harder to help your mid laners these days, but he's already kind of pushed 9 out of the lane.
Alright, never mind, collapse is chilling. Or is he skewer?
Yeah.
Doesn't get much distance away. He's got some stick charges to work with as well. Another round of the spells for Snaking. Collapse is falling incredibly low, but Vanguard gaming.
Yep. Even dropped it to use the Lotus. Just that tiny little extra bit of efficiency there. Don't think it saves him, but it did give him like maybe an extra 50 health or so.
I don't know. The ball's on people to be able to do that. Mid-fight. Mid-go. I don't know. That's some crazy micro stuff going on.
Yeah, don't try that one at home, kids. Basically what Ares is saying.
that's too next level. That's takes a lot of practice.
Yeah. Well, as it stands, we're not really seeing any of that kind of big early tower pressure yet. We're hitting that first nighttime, and this is where you're going to start thinking that maybe Yotaro, with his Night Stalker, is going to be thinking about some of those first big moves.
Even the supports as well, now getting towards that first power rune. Going to consider about rotating. Lyle might be in some trouble, but he does have Mirror flying over the top. Still, they're going to be able to refresh the spells on 9, and now that gives him the level 6 as well off the back of the kill, so they'll be able to chase Mirror down as well. Tundra even maybe getting a juicy stack as well with some of the big creeps that are still left over, so great rotation out of both Snaking and Saxa.
Oh, that's huge. Getting like a couple hundred gold from the neutrals, plus both kills. I mentioned the Leshrac almost in some ways is like a suitor carry this game because of the tempo the hero brings. So Lesh is like the most important hero to be killing right now. Like, you're happy just letting Night Stalker farm. Like, this is not a hero that I think you feel too threatened by in terms of outscaling the Terrorblade. So if Night Stalker's not getting involved, you're killing the Leshrac, things are looking good for Tundra.
And even 33 when a Vanguard as well. So it's just... Again, we spoke about how important it is for the Leshrac to be enabled, but now that Beastmaster can play alone, that also means Tundra will be able to continue to rotate mid, and we do have those Wisdom Rooms coming up pretty shortly as well, so looks like Raiden actually even scanned just to see if Saxa was trying to pick up that. Meanwhile, Maposhka, he's going to get his own rune as well.
Yeah, Yotaro thought about going for like a steal, like going through the trees, but I think thought better of it. He's a bit low in health, and needs to be a little bit careful down here. His Axis spam is starting to add up. As soon as Beastmaster hits level 6, there is a potential kill brewing on Yotaro there.
I didn't know Mag was a universal hero. Okay, very interesting.
Okay.
And it's so hard to keep track of all the new universal heroes. It's gonna take a bit too long. Like, some make sense and some are just like, really? Universal?
Yeah, it's like there's a mix of supports, somewhat carries, somewhat utility heroes, offlaners. Like, there's not like a clear logic to it.
What's going on here, Mr. 9? Well, we'll be in a pretty good position to get the bump up. 9's still going to have some other spells to look to play with. Even Sarks is in as well. Once again, trying to hope for the chakra, but 9, he's overplayed his hand. Both the supports on Team Spirit are even going to look to protect Lyle, so it's a nice return kill in the Rolling Thunder. Doesn't pay off here for the Pango.
Yeah. Honestly, it's impressive because, like, I feel like a year ago, like, nobody was as good as they are today at playing around the Pengo role. Like, the way Laurel, like, plays around the cliff there to get the bump up. It's also just a really hard spot for Pengo to even connect with the role. Sometimes when you hug cliffs, he just, like, misses. So, great job with his positioning. The turnaround was fantastic. And that's a big kill, Yeah. Keeping your Leshrac alive, killing the Pengo. These are the two kind of tempo heroes that you want having a good game on either side.
I wonder if Pango players have gone into pubs and just rolled across the map for hours on hours, because it does seem like there's less kind of... at least the walls are in a lot different locations than before. So maybe that little built-in your knowledge that you had of where you needed to bounce to get the perfect stun, maybe it's not there anymore. You don't have it down by heart.
Oh, I mean, yeah, for sure it's like a big thing, because most of, like, these Pango specialists have played hundreds and hundreds of games. They know almost every nook and cranny on the map and how to play around it with their Rolling Thunder, so a big map change patch like this can completely kind of throw a spanner in the works, so we'll see if that's something that comes into play. I mean, so far, the mid lane, not too different, but it's more going to come down to when these fights start breaking out in the jungle.
And maybe bottom might be where a fight breaks out. Finally, we've got someone looking to use the Twin Gate. Thinking is a decent chunk ahead of his team, though. Does that have them soon to connect? Yutoro's going to be forced to pop the Dark Ascension just to try and fly away, but the Solar Bind just completely slows him down, so... Dark Ascension wasted. He thought he was going to be able to escape. That's not to be. And meanwhile, 9, he also sniped off Mirror as well on the IO.
Yeah, the Solar Bind just crippled the Night Stalker. He was crawling at like minimum movement speed during nighttime there. That was absolutely brutal. Only has the 2 points in Hunter in the night, but...
Top lane? What's going on here? Collapse has got the RP at the ready. It's just Poshka. So it's not really like these two have a lot of damage. And Skeeter's fighting back as well. And... well, now Collapse has got no one. He's got to look for a solo RP. They've actually got the relocate. So the +2 is going to come out. Lars got a decent amount of mana to continue to fight back. But you got to respect 9 TPing him with a pain clear. Rolling Thunder back up at the ready if required. But oh no. Tethered away, but Lars like, boys, you left me. Yeah, you saved Collapse. Nice sidestep. All could bounce off. Looks like they'll still get the kill nonetheless. So yeah, Collapse survives, but... your real win condition, it feels like this game on the left track gets killed off top.
Yeah, Collapse is like, no, don't worry, guys. It's my Magnus, He's going for the carry build. Treads, Wraith Band, Bracer, has a Blink Dagger queued up. So not really a carry build, but, does actually, with max and power, pack a pretty good right-click and punch. But, not a bad idea with that rotation, but committing very hard underneath an enemy tower, using the IO relocate well, but Tundra doing a good job bringing numbers and making sure they punish kind of at least a slight overextension from Spirit. I think it's very hard for, Spirit making that play. It's daytime, they don't have their Night Stalker, but they did at least kill the TB out of it.
Do we feel like there's any big winners or losers at this stage of the game, or is it a little bit too early to tell?
It feels like at least so far, the Night Stalker is kind of struggling the most as far as cores go. As far as big winners go, honestly, Coddle is looking insanely strong. Like, support Coddle with 3.5k net worth. The Solar Bind against the Night Stalker seems to be crippling him, so I think Sax is going to be having a huge impact on this game with this fast vessel. And yeah, other than that, I think the Night Stalker's got some catching up to do.
Already seeing Tundra look to try and gear up for a defense top. They're going to bring both supports to play behind 9. But Spirit, they'll think otherwise than making this attempt. And back on this Coddle support, I wonder if this is a hero that we're going to see come back just into the support role. Because your Ag Shard is incredibly value. I feel like a lot of supports that have a good shard early on as well. Speaking of Saxa, this time it looks like Yutoro is going to be able to get a little bit more value out of the Dark Ascension. It's just a kill onto 1 though, but it is a bit of a streak nonetheless. That Collapse is able to find, but maybe this will help secure the tower as well. That's 9. Nice diffuser blades though.
Yeah, use on Pango, you can just mitigate so much aggression there, but I'll follow up the kill on the Coddle with some tower pressure here. So they're gonna, looks like, kind of trade towers essentially, with the Beastmaster having already taken the bottom tier 1, so both teams kind of making mirror movements here.
Top lane, there's a lot of info. They just saw 2 heroes TP bottom, so they know Collapse is completely isolated. They're probably going to need a relocate to protect him once again. Some trouble, 9. Yeah, but he's not going to get enough distance away. 9, he'll jump over the top of the crystals. And great read from Tundra, and that was all set up thanks to 33. He completely shoved him bottom to the T2 tower, used the Hawk as well, so saw multiple people TPing in, and then knew straight away that Mag had no one playing behind him.
Honestly, Solar Bind just is giving me like Glimpse vibes. Maybe not quite obviously the catch range, but it just feels like anybody who gets caught in a Solar Bind is just like dead. There's no outrunning this. until we start seeing, obviously some of those BKBs or Mantas, like, Night Stalker. It looks like the Manta timing is going to be the big one, where he's got Radiance Manta, can just kind of, send those illusions out, can just really fight well around it. But at least for the time being, it is kind of slower paced gaming for Spirit. Perhaps next nighttime, though, that can change.
Classic Tundra and Beastmaster things, though. 33 on top of the net worth, and they have a lot of stacks that he's claiming right now as well. So level 11 already. He's got that Crimson and a decent chunk of the way towards the pipe as well. Mid lane, though, 9. But it gets some separation, but the great use of the telekinesis is going to send him back in the river. Even the RP will be used to just help secure the kill, and they're wanting to just try and get anyone down and across the map. So once again, a bit of a streak for Collapse Defiant, 392 gold.
The way this game's going, like using these RPs on solo kills, as long as it's a core, seems completely worth it. It just limits and stops Tundra from making any moves. Tundra, though, more than happy to play the map. This is a team that's always kind of been praised and kind of the innovators when it comes to just map efficiency. They're moving around the map. They just play this kind of starvation type Dota. I mean, that's not happening now because they're in an even game, but they're just playing kind of the efficiency game. Farming jungle, Beastmaster, he's got extra Ancients now. He's got the double Ancients over, where the Dire Triangle used to be. You've got a Coddle who can farm efficiently in the jungle. They've got all this, like, ultra efficient farming heroes, so they don't mind a game where they're not being the ones making plays.
They will be the one to make an attempt onto Miposhka's life up top, and an easy kill at that, so... How important is this nighttime going to be right now for Team Spirit? Maybe, you're 500 gold away from the Radiance from your Toro. Do we see them maybe just look to chill out for a minute or two and then look to play even more aggressive with that big item?
Yeah, I think definitely waiting for the Radiance makes sense. It's still, like, not going to completely... he's still very squishy with the Radiance, but it just gives so much damage. And despite being nighttime, Tundra's like, we got Roche, let's do this.
All right.
It's being scanned.
Will they be able to get there fast enough, though? Roche down to half.
Nobody's
there. Yeah, maybe they just make the call still without the Radiance. Yutoro's like, we can't fight into this. Maybe with the Radiance, they can still consider about taking a fight into that second life, but right now they are not strong enough.
Yeah, I think Tundra just made a great read that, like, okay, 15 minutes, it's going to be nighttime. Roche is going to come over to the top side of the map. Nobody had, like, TPs. Everyone's TP was on cooldown. The Night Stalker's trying to finish Radiance. The Io Leshrac had both used their TPs. Rubik had recently died top, so there was no wait. It wasn't even like they chose not to fight. I just don't think they had the option to fight because they had no way to get up.
Sure. This game, I know it's only 1,000 net worth lead, but this is starting to look really scary for Spirit. They have to hit this next timing in stride, because if you don't, you're going to have... Like, first Roche, that's something that the Leshrac plays heavy off, and we were speaking that this team feels like they're on a timer. So the fact you take the ages away from the Lesh is huge, and now you're getting closer and closer to the Skadi, and honestly, Spirit, they don't deal well with Terrorblade splitting the map. Like, their supports are horrible at dealing with the Terrorblade illusions, even the Night Stalker as well, for that matter. So, this could just be another classic Tundra split push out and free farm, and they're even just forcing up Dark Ascensions once again, so now you don't have this ultimate in combination with the Radiance.
Yeah, it's just defensively used. Does immediately TP top, but he's kind of on his own looking to make some plays here with the IO relocate, but using it just to farm for now. They don't really want to get too aggressive into the Aegis, it seems, although, TB, I don't think he's looking necessarily to fight. He's happy just to keep farming with this one.
They're ready to go. They're going to try and smoke. They've got a pretty good lane ward. Maybe trying to make the start onto Collapse. He does have some boys playing behind him, however. Collapse going to be able to reposition with the skewer. Meanwhile, bottom lane's getting shoved out as well. I don't know when he's still freezing field, but apparently Miposhka has CM's ultimate. Okay.
Perhaps this, and also this, I think the TB is definitely a problem in terms of scaling, but at least this new Night Stalker build with the Radiance Manta does a lot better than, the typical Night Stalker build. Oh, the old school one, at least, in terms of pushing out lanes and, dealing with TB illusions a little bit.
Okay. Seems like...
It's still not enough by itself, though. I still think, like you say, this TB is a massive issue as this game goes on.
Doesn't seem like it's going to slow down anytime soon. We might have a fight for this DD. They're not in a position to be able to get towards that. Meanwhile, 9 and Miposhka, they're in another battle. No, Dave. All right, he forces out a Rolling Thunder. So, not the worst, I suppose, but without Miposhka, still they won't be able to defend the tier 1 tower. So, Tundra got a kill. Who actually got the Wisdom Rune? Was it even on? No, it was not. I don't know what the hell they were doing there.
Yep.
Well, bottom lane, relocate in. Collapso use of the RP. 9 is going to be able to get some distance away, pretty close to the tier 2 tower, and they don't even really need many people to help protect him, so another attempt from Spirit's not going to pay out. And meanwhile, hang on, what the hell is going back here? What just happened? Tundra take a fight without Spirit's bodyguards around the Lesh, and they just easily mop the floor.
They just read that relocate back perfectly. Like, he'd relocate in for the kill, didn't get it, and like, just by good map awareness, maybe some vision, they saw the Ire coming back in. Like, okay, this is easy kills for us. We've got Roar. This is TB meta. We'll happily take this fight, knowing that Spirit aren't. They're not going to be here with 5. This Night Stalker Radiance is like, it's not like you get Radiance and you're ready to fight. It's kind of like, it's like the Battle Fury time where it's like you kind of keep farming with this item until you get one more item. So it does feel like Spirit's draft, like while we kind of thought maybe, they need to play fast and they're on a bit of a timer, the Night Stalker build kind of is going to give them better scaling, but it also limits their ability to, basically take over this early to mid game and put pressure on a TB draft, which, TB is going to be massive this game. Not to mention Reflection against Night Stalker is just going to be brutal as well.
And you've also got the Beastmaster that's going to continue to buff you up. It's just, he's going to be an absolute machine as this game goes on. And Toru, what's he doing? He's got the boys actually looking to play aggressive off the back of the smoke. There's no RP for collapse, but somehow he finds the angle onto 2. They're going to drag them over to Yatoru. But he doesn't want to take the team fight with 9 showing up the Rolling Thunder. That's going to act as a deterrent. Spirit forced to reposition back towards the secret shop, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to be successful. Maybe Lyle can turn it around, though. Standing strong off the back of the Bloodstone, they'll get the kill onto the Pango. So a decent trade for them at the moment, but Lyle, he's still got Mira to back him up as well. They're going to go back in once again. Yatoru into the middle with the silence, but the Raw holds him in to play Skeeter. Stolen Raw. Of course, Skeeter, he's still got that Aegis for another 20 seconds, but Tundra, gonna be really cautious how far you want to continue on. You're right.
Yeah, they're gonna respect the buyback of the Rubik, even having killed 2 cores there. They getting a little bit low towards the end there, and still no Metamorphosis on TP, but what a great fight for them. The Rubik buys back. No casualties and just getting 2 core kills. We see the Magnus, gets a great skewer there, but they just don't really have the damage follow-up. And as tanky as Collapse is, with this Crimson Guard Solar Crest, he was only being tickled by the TB. He does just, slowly die over time. And I think the rest of Spirit just weren't really ready to follow him up, despite a pretty good initiation from him.
And again, Skeeter goes unscathed in that fight. So this is now Skadi completed. Second in net worth. A lot of levels for him as well. He's still continuing to be that really scary beast. We do have the Tormentors. Does look like Tundra are going to be able to find theirs. So let's see who's going to get the Ag shot. Will be Snake.
Yep. CM Shard. Got the moving freezing field.
It's this one. Mira's going to get... I don't even know what the... Oh, that's a pretty nice shard. Hang on a second.
Increased spell amp. Iogen spell life can now share spell life so with its tethered target. Okay, that seems pretty damn good with a Leshrac on your team.
Yeah, it really does. Let's see. I mean, Lowe's doing a lot of damage. He might actually be in some trouble mid lane. Let's see how survivable he truly is. Mira's actually just going to look for the relocate out, so they want nothing to do with this engagement.
The Leshrac was kind of too long
simultaneously. He's going to try and skewer Saxa over to the left side, but he's now the one that's in trouble. Rooted into place, and Skeeter's got plenty of damage to blow up the mag, and I mean, 9's even looking for a +1 as well. Blink is almost up for 9. And meanwhile, they're just going to turn to Mira instead. Under the remnants of that Tier 2 tower, Tundra find 2 easy kills, and they might consider about knocking on this high ground.
Yeah. These pickups just happening way too easily. The vision from Tundra all over this top side of the map, the Radiant Triangle area, and finding pickups gives them an easy high ground here with a very farmed Skitter TB. There's nothing you can really do to defend this. We kind of touched a bit upon the draft issues with the lack of wave clear, and that really becomes an issue. Here, whoa.
Oh, his Darkest Engine just expired.
Oh, no.
And it put him on the low ground. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, brutal.
I guess... Hey, at least meta's down, so they won't push, but still it's another death onto Yatoru, and he's bottom net worth out of all the cores, and Saxa is very close, hot on his tail on that net worth as well.
Yeah, it's in the Cuddles network, and he didn't get the free shard. That was the Crystal Maiden, so Saksa is obviously getting massive this game. This is, forward position Cuddle, things like this. You play this here as a support to get farm, but you don't play this here to get picked off, and that's unfortunately what's going to happen to Saksa.
Alright. Not bad, not bad. You'll take it. I mean, how much gold did they? A decent chunk. Law's going to be the one that claims it as well, so actually going for a Lotus Orb here on Law, so I guess a lot of single target that he is going to be worried about. A little bit of armor, of course, is always going to be really nice versus that Terror Blade.
Yep. Just makes it him so he's not like an easy Sunder target and stuff. There's, obviously Beastmaster Roar as well, so a lot of value from Lotus Orb this game. Even being able to dispel things like that at Solar Bind can be really nifty as well.
Though they're looking to try and make a play across the map. It's going to be snaking and nining combination together, sweeping inside their own jungle. Even got another member TPing out to the outpost as well. That's going to be 33. Laps does see the teleport and is able to blink accordingly, so it looks like the mag going to be able to react fast enough. So Spirit, they'll dodge that smoke. They go for one of their own, they will.
Like Spirit need to fight as 5 or they just don't have the damage. There's like Pengo can get so tanky, and of course the Beastmaster with all his aura items, but
Toro.
Who they can find.
Oh, they found 9. That's a huge pickoff. Can they brawl him up, though, inside the silence? The Force Staff's going to help him reposition. 33. All his auras just keep 9 alive, and now he's going to jump back in as well with a Rolling Thunder, creating chaos, but they need Skeeter for the damage, and the Terror Blade, he's going to funnel in from the right side. Now with the meta activated, they've isolated the Leshrac and Low. Well, he'll be the only person to go down so far, but 33, he wants to make sure they bury another member inside the grave. They'll catch up to Maposhka. Meanwhile, up to the north, though, Mira, playing around with Yatoro. Yatoro should be able to fly himself away, though. Dark Ascension has expired. We'll look for a TP out. I think he will make it regardless, though. Spirit, they were the ones that looked for the fight. They're not even done just yet. Collapse. Oh, he didn't skew it down to the low ground, so Zark's oh no, gives him the tip as well.
Going with the blinding light, I think.
Might be able to help him out. He's going to try and fly in here with the silence. It looks like that's enough to act as a deterrent. Do they just want to turn their attention, though, to the Night Stalker? And he's chilling. He's got plenty of movement speed.
Honestly, another fight where Saksa Coddle is just kind of the hero. First, the Force Staff save, and then he falls. So the Ire tries to relocate out the Leshrac there, who's in a bit too deep, but a blinding light breaks the tether, so Leshrac got completely abandoned. And again, another pickoff. It's this Coddle is just so good at picking people up with all the kind of the mobility, like the force movement of the blinding light combined with the solar bind is just brutal.
I don't know, dude. I look at 33 with a Solar Crest, Pipe, Greaves, and then I look at Sarxa, who's Glimmer, Vessel, and Force. Yeah, cool. All right, very cool. Where aura is he in? All right, hasn't changed.
Yeah.
It's got to be a skew under the tier 4, right? And yeah, Collapse is going to go for it. What? They force him out of the Split Earth, back in. He goes, where is he? Force all across the base. Skeet is fine, though. Turns with his Sunder, and he's been able to shrug off that initiation.
All right, next skewer is up, though. Round 2.
Seeing those. Under the Hawk, Collapse. Maybe have to position on the left side if he's going to find that angle in.
So he's Tundra adapting. They're just sending in illusions now. They're rolling Thunder too.
We'll start before Spirit. Still, it is meta on cooldown for 20 seconds, so a lot of the damage is not going to be there for Tundra. A wasted Rolling Thunder. Maybe this is the opportunity for Spirit. Once again, Skewer back over to Yatoro. Let's see if the support's going to be able to keep 33 alive for the moment with the Force Staff once again. 33 pushed away from the aggressive attempt. Tundra will be able to reposition. They can double back. Meta's back up now from Skeeter. They want to go back in. Collapse though. RP clips multiple heroes, but they just don't have the damage. Skeeter completely untouched inside the team fight. The meta damage is too much for them to handle. They'll be able to chase down Mirror as well over to the left side. There's no tether away for the IO. Oh, he's not even done.
Just the support to show for it. Definitely the big issue, as you said. They just don't have the damage in. You know who does it? Skitter's TB. He's got the damage. He's eating these heroes alive. Even the reflection and things.
See that yours? What the hell? Collapse?
He's ready.
Oh my lord, Tundra, what a debut here at the Berlin Major. They are just obliterating Team Spirit. Lyle's caught out a Hurricane Pike to make sure he can get no more spell life, still off the Bloodstone, and It might be Call It territory. This is looking like a very convincing win.
I love the Yule Scepter from 33. He mostly just bought this to deal with the Magnus. Like, they're like, okay, how do we lose this game? Blink Skewers. So his job is just, he's going to try to get Hawkfish on the Magnus and just, like, pre-cast Yules on him. Like, as soon as you see him, just Yules and cancel. And if he blinks in for a Skewer, you get that insta Yules. Even Coddle now picks up a Yule Scepter. They know that this item completely cripples the Magnus, who's going to have to get, like, BKB or Lincolns or some way to deal with a Yule, just a Yule Scepter that catches him when he tries to blink in and Skewer. And, I mean, forget these Yules, you got to defend your base right now, and Tundra's just going to get a second lane of racks uncontested.
They're just trying to get out of the map on Spirit and find a little bit of farm. Nine's going to run into Yatoro though, so instantly the team smokes his foreign. Can actually move on over, sweeping across the map to try and connect. They do have a deep lane ward as well up top that might see collapse shortly. Uh-oh, they're going to cut him off. Look, the pathing here from Tundra.
Oh dear.
They get a glimpse of him underneath the ward. Yatoro and Mira, they're going to run to the vision as well. So Tundra, bottom to top they go. Look at the pincer movement. Sarksa from the north, Nine from the south. There's just no escape. Collapse is able to get a little bit of distance away, but the Scardy's already been applied. And now they've even caught out Eye before he's able to enter the bridge.
Yatoro's like gatewaying to the other side of the map, like, get me out of here. We'll see if they chase him down, though. Looks like they're going to go for Roshan instead. They've only, got 10 seconds here with Roshan. Does he stay after? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, they realize they got to go to the other side now. Like, okay, Roshan's leaving, we're leaving.
Might bash them. Oh, this thing's so silly.
Trolly. This is great.
Oh, God. Alright. I don't know. I don't know what Spirit were able to do. We were mentioning that it felt like you could not get to this stage of the game. If you did, Tundra, they'd just be completely untouchable. And, well, they felt untouchable way earlier on in this game as well.
Yeah, there were like moments where Spirit was making some good plays, particularly in the top lane with the Magnus and Rubik getting a lot of early kills, but they weren't really following it up with, they were getting out farmed a bit, and also just hero matchup wise, like, they never really have an answer for a TB this game. All Beastmaster has to do is get a couple of aura items, and this TB gets massive. Leshrac AoE damage just isn't enough for a Terrorblade.
I really wonder if teams are going to have to take a hard look at this Night Stalker Beastmaster matchup, because this is now 2 games today. Again, Liquid, they ran it earlier, the Night Stalker, Mickey carried to try and address the Beast, and it didn't work. Now this is another game where it doesn't work. The Helm, the Overlord, it was nerfed a little bit. It was some gold and also like some of the other stats as well, and it just seems like it's not core now. And all the other orbs, they were buffed up even more. So it's not that hard counter like we saw at the end of the last patch.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Like, does Beastmaster even necessarily want to go that item build, even if there's no Night Stalk in this game? He may. I think there's a good chance we see Beastmaster still prioritize aura items over the Helm. So it's picking Night Stalker into it. Yeah, just doesn't feel like a counter. It's kind of like this reminds me of that old PA counter where it's like, yeah, it's kind of good until it isn't.
Sure.
Like, all of a sudden, like here in the mid game, like this Night Stalker, anytime he tries to run in, he's getting roared. Hulk to give vision of the Night Stalk when he's using Dark Ascension is also really nice. So it just doesn't really. It feels like if anything, Night Stalker is being countered by the Beastmaster here, which is just not how it's meant to work.
Potentially last fight. Let's see what Spirit are going to be able to do. Under their hunting, they might just get Miposhka. Yours going to be there. Quick timing to be able to cancel to the buzzer. So. Go on, that's the only hero. You do have all your lanes getting shoved in though, and it's tier 2 top, so that's one thing I guess stopping them from the Megas. They might just walk it down though.
Yep, they've got TB Illusions up there, so they don't have to wait too long. Plenty of time left on the Aegis as well to play around, and a massive 25k gold lead. He's on Pengo with a Heart of Tarrasque. This Pengo is just damn near unkillable now. Cloak of Flames, BKB, Heart of Tarrasque. What a tanky item build. And, one of these Pengos, often you're a bit squishy, especially if you go these damage builds. But with this build, 9 can just go charging in and just survive through almost anything.
Collapse is trying to get set up towards the gate. You already see 33 is well aware of this. Already Hawk placed, and I don't know if there's any opportunity, maybe that potential wraparound where they're not expecting the RP angle, but they're currently scouting out Team Spirit, so this high ground defense for the last barracks is not going to be easy at all. Honestly, I wish it was a little bit closer where we got to speak about the build overall for Collapse, because it's a very unique build where he's gone this Crimson, Solar Crest, Manta, but we just haven't felt in the entire impact of Spirit, where we haven't really... I mean, they've been behind the entire game. We didn't really get to speak about their items as well.
Yeah, it's just... The items just aren't kind of reaching a point where they can impact this game. I like that he disassembled the Radiance, like playing into Reflection, just getting this Nullifier, trying to... they just lack single target damage.
Alright.
Skewer back.
Yep, instant Hurricane Pike usage. Skeeter is out of danger, and they're going to be able to turn it back over to the Night Stalker as well. Mira, he'll keep him healthy, but that means the tether is not over the Leshrac, so he's completely vulnerable without the buffer. Down goes La without a buyback. And now Yatora, he's in some trouble as well. Drag further inside the base, but Poshka, he'll only keep him alive momentarily as Tundra looking to close this one out. Last set of barracks soon to be claimed. Spirit, they're going to very much struggle up against the Megas. I mean, it's a 32,000 net worth lead, 34 minutes in. You know it's a rough game when the net worth is almost the same as the minute mark.
Yeah, this is one for the books now. I expect the GG any second now. Hoping that maybe an overextension with the skewer back, but with that missed RP, they call it, yeah. He was looking for one last skewer into the fountain maybe, but wasn't to be.
Alright, Tundra. Well, they're going to continue with their pretty recent success versus Spirit. Of course, it is just game one, but over in Dream League in the groups.